another version of the Welsh Chess Chat.
Good evening.
Good evening, Johan. How are you?
Sweating. It's boiling here. Absolutely boiling.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sat in a sauna.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? And I was telling you just before we came live that the past couple of days I've been really suffering. I just can't get to sleep at night at the moment. And do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the Welsh Chess Championships actually this year.
And also, was it hot? Was it?
I don't know, but I mean, I was staying with Alex, and I'm not complaining, Alex, but you know, he's on a very high flat, and maybe the heat rises into it.
Yeah, okay.
And maybe that's to blame as to why I didn't do so well in the last day or something like that. That's my excuse anyway.
Or maybe like, Alex was worried about playing you and sort of put something
deliberately heated the room. That makes a lot of sense actually. I can see him doing that. That does sound like Alex as well. Okay, so we've got obviously quite a few things to talk about today. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the Welsh Chess Chat. Obviously, this weekend we've got a big tournament in Wales. The Newport Congress is literally starting tomorrow. That's going to feature the Under-18 Championship as well as the Welsh Seniors Championship. So we'll cover that when we talk about the calendar and the ratings on the Welsh Chess Union website. Then we've got what's next actually? Let me have a look at I've written down a little list, but then I've forgotten everything that I just typed. So
it's a big one starting tomorrow. Then I'm looking forward to observing from afar. Any updates?
Well, I don't know if the game's going to be live.
No. But I'm going to be like refreshing. Is it chess result? Will it be on chess results?
Yeah, it should be on chess results.
It'll be like refreshing.
Just to see how waiting for the Facebook message to pop up to see how we've got on.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's kind of cool that you'll both be playing in the same tournament.
Yeah, I know. Well, and the banter next week if we get to play each other is going to be pretty big.
I'd imagine the chances are fairly decent that you play each other.
I don't know because I think we're next to each other on the rating list. But we'll have a look in a second. Because we've also got to look at, Alex is kind of in form at the moment, so we won't give it too much away. He played in the Czech Republic recently, so we'll have a look at how he did. We've got a potential training weekend coming up in October for juniors. And we haven't spoken about any Welsh words in quite a long time, Johan, so I'm going to see what I remember, and then maybe you can add a couple on if you remember how to speak Welsh.
I've moved to England for quite a while now, so...
And also, we can also have a look at our Title Tuesday games as well. I know that I've got one kind of point that I want to talk about, but I think you were also, I saw in some chat, you've got some of the things that potentially you might want to see, and can load it up on my screen if need be too. But let's show the Welsh Chess Union website on the stream. There it is, the beautiful Welsh Chess Union website. Always click on this. Do you know what? Actually, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't become a Welsh Chess Union member yet. I need to actually send over my £20.
All right, okay.
Because
it's required, is it?
Well, it is required to play in this tournament tomorrow.
Okay.
So I need to transfer that over. I'll do that actually after the stream to make sure it's in time. But obviously, the main thing, we've got the Newport Congress tomorrow and over the weekends. Then we've got the Real Congress in a couple of weeks' time, which I'm hoping to play in. And then we've got the UK Open Blitz Championship Wales qualifier. Before we talk about Newport, are you planning to play in one of these Blitz qualifiers, Johan?
I would love to. Yeah. My wife's in a play at the moment, so it's kind of like taking up all the dates, it seems. So.
Have you actually looked at all of the dates in England and stuff, or
the ones in England near me? She's sort of occupied, and then. Yeah, so it's like a 10-day stretch, and it seems to be like taking up all the ones that are convenient. So
it's kind of annoying.
But yeah, I'd like to play. Yeah, I'm not that great at Blitz these days. It's weird. Like when I was younger, I was really good at Blitz. Like, I don't know. Do you think? Question for you, actually. Do you think actually? Something that's really important for Blitz, while it's not that important for classical, I think, or as much, is confidence. So I find like the people that are good at Blitz, they're just like supremely confident. And I think being overconfident is actually useful for Blitz.
I think there is a bit of bluffing involved, yeah.
Well, you bluff yourself, right? Because you're so confident, you just don't realize how terrible your position is, and then you only realize what after you've won. Like,
no, I get what you mean, but I'm not so sure whether it's complete confidence. I think it's more being confident in your tactical ability. And I think when we were both younger, we were very confident in our tactical ability. And I think that's probably one of our biggest things. But now, as we've got older, we've started to realize that we're missing things here and there
all the time.
Yeah, basically,
you're like second guessing yourself rather than just playing the moves, which you need to in Blitz. You just need to play,
and that's why we get short on time. And then next thing we know, we're just dropping pieces left, right, and center like we do in our online games. Okay, we've actually got we've got quite an interesting question actually from the chat actually, which is not unusual. Well, maybe it is unusual for the chat, but yeah. Astro Twitch Nice Night, I've heard it's quite difficult for people to gain ELO over 2,000 in the Welsh chess population. What was it like going for titles? That's a really good question, actually.
It was very different back when, right? Because essentially, like, if you're the highest rated player, then it's harder to gain. But so now, there's like Alex was. I think Alex said 2 weeks ago, didn't he? He was saying, look, he doesn't get to play anyone. Well, back when we were playing regularly, sort of in Wales as juniors, there was plenty of people over 2,200.
Yeah,
there was
loads.
John Trevelyan, Alan Spice, Tim was like 2,300.
David James and Charles Morris.
Everyone was 2,300. So. Like, it wasn't like it is now, so it was much easier to get to. But the problem was then, and I think the reason we've never had any Grandmasters is because, like, essentially everyone was 2,200, 2,300, but there was no 2,400, 2,500. So, like, it's very difficult to get so much better than the next person. Like, that's why Magnus has never reached 2,900. Like, he needs a bunch of 2,800s below him to get to that 2,900, and that's why no Welsh player has ever been a Grandmaster, because there's not been a bunch of 2,400s, I think.
Yeah, it's difficult to and kind of pop off the rating off them, isn't it? And then also you've got the thing of having healthy competition as well. So, I mean, I've just...
The sort of saying thing of, like, you are like the average of the 5 people you spend time with. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's chess or cooking or whatever. But, like, if you spend lots of time with people, you'll kind of just become the average of that. And it's the same playing in Wales. You're not going to be 2,500 because you're going to be the average of all the top players. So that's the case.
When you start winning, you just do enough to win the games against those players, don't you? Don't search to get better. I think, did I mention last week, like, even though I'm playing a couple of tournaments in England, what was it? My last 23 opponents, only 2 have been higher rated than me. So it's about finding the right tournament, isn't it, to play in? And it's a case of, but the one thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to say, I don't want to play in that tournament because, I might lose rating, or I don't want to go down that point. I want to put my rating on the line, so to speak, and say I'm playing in that tournament because I want to play chess. I want to get better for playing chess. But Gary mentions a good point. Should you play chess in England? Well, actually, me and Johan both do, because we both live in England. But, like, just for example, in my local league, I was actually the highest rated in my local league by against most players by quite a lot. And the only person that was on par with me was Jacob Boswell, who is just overtaken me in FIDE rating, but actually he's left and he's not playing the local league anymore. He's got a job somewhere around London. And Lawrence Cooper doesn't play anymore because they withdrew a team. So the local league's gone. And then my local tournaments are Crewe, which I entered, and I was the 2nd seed. I went down to Shropshire. I think I was the 2nd seed down there. And there was even Crewe before that, and I think I might have been top seed at that point. Like I was showing you Leyland, actually, from before. Was that last weekend, the weekend before that? I would have been the top seed in that if I'd have played in it. And then there was also Manchester. That was relatively strong, but there was Keith playing, Adam Ashton. We're only talking maybe 5 or 6 players that would have been ahead of me.
Yeah.
I might even load it up. Maybe that's incorrect, but there wouldn't have been that many. And so you're talking the first few rounds. You basically 3 out of 5 games is going to be lower rated players at least.
Yeah.
It makes it hard, doesn't it? So you kind of have to play in the tournament that you played in.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I'm just kind of being a bit more selective with where and when I'm playing now, because I understood the issues with it when I was younger. But I mean, like Gary said, you can play elsewhere, but really it's on average, your average of your games where you're playing. And yeah, okay, when I was a teenager, I was playing, I don't know, 80 to 100 games a year, and I don't know, maybe 70 of those are in Wales, right? So that's the most of them. There'd be 30 in 4NCL and World Championships and stuff, but that doesn't account for who you're playing in, week out, I think. So,
yeah, okay. Well, great question, by the way. And I mean, I think it is probably still. I don't think it's difficult maybe to get over 2,000, but I do appreciate that. The other thing that I think
2,300 is the issue, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
you start getting problems at 22, 2,300.
Well, there's also the issue of, I guess, rating deflation as well. So, that's been happening over the past 10 years. If I think about it back to when I didn't even know this at the time, but apparently when we were younger, there was actually a bit of rating inflation, apparently. So when I was like 22.30 or 22.28, I think it was, when I was 16, 17, 18, something like that. Apparently that might have been inflated. And actually, I haven't actually improved at all in 20 years. Well, not 20 years, but you know what I mean? Yeah, 20 years it would be. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, how can I not improve in 20 years? I feel like I'm playing so much better chess than I did then. And yet my rating's actually lower than what I was. So that just gives you an idea of rating inflation. So actually, what we might find over these next few years, because they've raised the floor from 1,000 to 1,400, and everybody's gained some points all the way up to 2,000s.
When does that happen?
Do you know what? I don't know. And I do want to find out, because that will have a massive knock-on effect.
Sooner the better, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it. I've been playing against these 1,800s, 1,900s. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, they're giving me a good game here. They're not giving me anything for free, shall we say, and I'm having to really work for it. And maybe in the old money, maybe they're probably rated about 2,000s. And if you beat them, you gain a few more points. And if you lose to them, it's not quite as bad. And all of a sudden, it only takes a few of those to change, and it's a massive effect to your rating. But okay, well, I mean, it brings us into looking at the players at Newport this weekend, and a fantastic job by Dave Norris, who's filled up the events completely full. No more people can enter. And obviously, the most recent announcement was Keith Arkle's entered.
Yeah, that was like a bit of a surprise, like a last-minute announcement, wasn't it?
It was.
If they had him up their sleeve or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I hope they haven't given them any conditions, because they don't need to. But the funny thing that I thought was, they posted that they were full, and then they kind of announced that Keith Arkle was playing full. What would be a really good power move for them? Is if they'd actually said, no, I'm sorry, we're full. And then posted about it, we've just refused the Grandmaster entry because we told them that we're full. That might have got more publicity.
It'd be a bit gutting for you guys, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to actually have somebody higher rated than you in the rating list, which is good. So, yeah, hopefully me or Alex get to play against him, and he's not having a good time of it at the moment. Actually, his ratings come.
I wonder
right
what
down.
drew him over. I mean, I think the prize money's pretty good, isn't it? Isn't it 300? That's pretty high.
Well, no, I think it's more than that, actually. They released it somewhere.
Because there hasn't been prize money like 300 quid for a really long time.
Well, in Wales, it's normally about 200 for first, which is, when you compare it to your entry fee, I don't know how to get to it from here, though. But I thought it was maybe a little bit more than that, actually. I'll have to check that out on Facebook. But yeah, it's better than the regular Welsh tournament, which is really good to see, and really rewarding the higher up the Open tournament, which is something that I fancied. Actually, I think me and Alex kind of had a little bit of a mini disagreement, didn't we, or a debate, shall we say, about the price structure. And actually, I thought about that a little bit more, and I think it's a case of, and I think we're both right in what we want. And I think it's almost like like some people have like their own poker tournament. They invite all their friends round. 10 of us come round. We'll have a poker tournament amongst friends. Everybody puts 30 quid in. Prize pot will be X amount of money, whatever. That's the kind of way that I think that Alex was thinking of it, which is fine. And then I kind of want a tournament to be a case of, right, okay, well, who's the best chess player as a tournament? And I think there's two different tournaments. What are you doing it for? You're doing it for, let's get a load of people with the same rating to come in. Everybody puts some money in, and it's kind of a little bit like gambling in a way. And then the prize money is based on that. Or do you want to see who the best chess players are? And I guess it depends which kind of market you're actually tailoring your tournament to. So I guess both things are right. Somebody just put on the chat as well.
Yeah, 300 quid. That's really good price. I mean, for the intermediate, 220. That's more than I won for the Open in January. It's really good. Did
you share that?
No, I won on my own.
You won in your own. Of course you did. Yeah, and you beat Alex, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. So the intermediate first prize is the same as an Open first prize. It's all right because I remember the first time that one of my juniors won Blackpool, and like a minor section. He came back. I was like, hang on a minute, he's made more money here in one tournament than I have over the past 10 years or something. I mean, I didn't play many tournaments, but I was like, this can't be right. I was like sharing first prize in the Open a few times, so I was getting like not £100 or something after sharing because it was shared by quite a lot, and I was like, what's going on here? But okay, this is the main tournament. You can see me there. I'm second seed. Alex is fourth seed. So I guess we might be the same colours actually. So maybe that makes us a little bit different. But Peter Varley in between us. Oliver, Olivia, Alan round up the top 7. And it is incorporating the under 18 championships. So we've got a couple of round 1 buys there. But as we go down, we can see that Ewan Cave is an under 18. But I believe this N means he is not eligible for the Welsh Championship. So is he eligible for the under 18 championship? And I guess the answer to that is no. But Alex has put, I think he transferred over to Wales 2 weeks ago. Or something. He put that in the chat. So that's really good.
Maybe he is eligible now.
Maybe that's changed. I don't know, but maybe there might be some kind of bedding in process or something like that where you need to wait a year or 2 years or something before you. I honestly have no idea. But if he is transferred over, I think we're seeing possibly the new highest rated Welsh junior in the event. And actually, with him being seeded 26th, there's actually quite a high chance I might get him in the first round. Actually,
there's about
50 entrants or so. Jai Kathari from England, under 18, and then the top one with a yes next to the under 18 title is Bence. Bence Sackman. He played in the Galorni. He's a serious player though, and should be pretty good. Okay, somebody's put in the chat that Ewan's playing for the Welsh Juniors in November.
Do you know how old he is? Out of interest.
Ewan?
Yeah.
I can find out. Hopefully it'll be on his FIDE profile. Just have a little look. So we've got Ellison and Anshul there as well. So the great thing about chess is you need to find somebody's age.
Someone's saying 16.
16. He was born in 2006.
Wow.
Hang on. That's not 16.
15. No.
2006. No. 14 plus 3. 17.
17.
I guess it depends when his birthday is as well. Okay, 17 in November. Oh, he plays for your club, does he? Okay, thank you, Frenchie. He's given us a bit more information there. Yeah, and he's got a Welsh flag next to his name now. So, okay, well, that's a strong junior transferring over. I guess England make their signing of a Russian grandmaster.
There's no room for him anymore.
No, we make our signing of an English junior. But okay, he's got Ellison and Anshul and Zagnos. So actually, if he's included, there's actually only 4 under 18 juniors
between the 4 of them. Then, yeah,
from Wales. We've got 2 other English juniors there. One's Jai, and the other one's at the bottom, Zach Norris. But for the under 18 championship, there's actually only 4 juniors competing for it, which is a little crazy.
I remember once though, right? Under 18s, I remember like just me and Arnold entered.
Oh, really?
We just had to have a match against each other. I think I had to play him like 4 times or something. And
what was the score then of that?
I won 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold was great.
He was pretty good. You know, he was about 2000 maybe, but
he was good. Arnold was.
You know, back in the day, we didn't think that was anything special, isn't it?
No, no.
But yeah, it was just me and him, and I think he came round to my house for a match. That's how prestigious the under 18
title was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just have a little look at. There's some more under 18s, obviously, in the intermediate section, which is great to see. Great to see a lot of juniors entering this tournament and playing some long play chess. Probably for some of them, especially if they got 1,000 rating, this is probably their first tournament ever. So really good to see that. I know that for some of these players here, it's the first long play tournament that they've ever played, or at least one of their first ones. So great to see them taking part in this tournament, and seems like it's captured their imagination. But before we answer Astral's other question, we'll have a look at the Welsh seniors, because this is playing alongside it. And I don't know, I feel ashamed that I can't play against Tim again, which is annoying. But I think, how many entrants into this? 20 entrants now. So I think it was 18 last time we saw it. I don't know what the 2 new entrants
That'll be quite competitive, that will.
Yeah.
I think that'll be quite a good tournament. Quite close. I think anybody could win that. I
mean,
not anyone, but you know, most of them.
I mean, I always like watching Rudy play. It's it's great, isn't it? But I mean, I don't know much about Richard Beatty.
Yeah, I think he used to play in the same local league as me. I played him quite a few times. But I'm fairly sure he was around 1800 all the time. So I don't know. Yeah. Yeah,
well, we know Mark's probably higher rated. He's been higher rated than 1898, hasn't he, as well? I think Mark's capable of being a bit more than that. So, I mean, there are lots of players there that are really quite good. And did we find out what age the seniors was? Was it 50, 55 plus, 60 plus?
No idea.
Plus, maybe somebody in the chat can help us out there. But looks like that's going to be a really close event. Obviously, Tim's the favourite and could potentially run away with it. He has been on some good form, apart from Northumbria, but he did come back into it. So maybe, but he's capable of dropping points, as has been shown. Okay, right. Well, that's the Newport Congress, and looks like a really good event. I'm looking forward to driving down tomorrow. And I'm actually going to be playing round 1 now. I've managed to.
Are you? You've managed to swing it. Oh.
Yeah, I thought you might have noticed that my round 1 buy had gone. So
I hadn't noticed that actually, but no. Oh, that's good.
Well, my parents are going away, you see, and they usually look after my dog. But they thought they were going away on tomorrow, but they're actually going away on Saturday.
Okay.
So they can actually have her all day. So I'm quite happy about that. I don't think there's been much changes to the grades, but when we looked last week, I think there might have been a mistake on Alex's grade. You remember he had that draw.
Oh, has he gone up now? Is he?
Well,
he
unfortunately,
would have gone up more for his tournament.
Of course, his games from his tournaments will have been affected, won't they? So he's plus 12 now.
He'd be
plus
closing 12 on you now.
Well, you say that. I mean,
after this tournament now, when he beats you,
look at the difference between us. It's less between us than it is between me and him. So I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, our boy Alex. So he's got that. He had a league match there before that was a draw, didn't he? It's just disappeared. So it looks like he gained some rating there. He gained 10 points, maybe 22.47. No, 12 points by the looks of things. Okay, so he's done quite well there. So the biggest difference, Irish Murphy still at the top with Louise chasing just behind. They were the same as last time. And who's played the most games as well? Because we talked about how many games you were playing there. You mentioned 80 to 100 games in the year. And this is since July the 1st, isn't it?
It's nuts, that is. So many games.
37 games between July the 1st and now. I've played 18 and feel like I've been pretty active. And I'm surprised that my mum's still registered on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's still playing a lot, is she?
Well, enough to get by, yeah. She's still playing for sure.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad's playing too. Yeah, my dad's playing as well. But yeah, that's a lot of games, and these Tim's overtaken Josh McKenna and the amount of games played. And
even though I said 80 or whatever games, I'm thinking that's got to be wrong. Like I've just got to be remembering that wrong, because I used to play on average like 3 games a week or something. So that's like 150
more, isn't it?
a year. Yeah, I must have been playing 150 a year, maybe.
Yeah, you could easily do that if you were fully committed to it.
But yeah, because if you think like Congress most weekends and then a league match or 2, like average it out, it's going to be 3 games a week. I think I think it must have been that.
So what? Let's just say that you play a Congress like every other weekend. So that's 10 games for a month, plus maybe 3 league matches a month.
Two league matches a week sometimes.
Two league matches a week. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take it down to 2 league matches a month. That's 12 games multiplied by 12 months is 144. So that's
the league's off, during the summer and stuff like that. So
it is.
But then you've got World Championships and stuff that you're playing every day for 2 weeks or something. It's. I think it must. Maybe it was over. It must have been over 100 then. But still, Tim's going to reach that by Christmas at this rate.
At this rate, well, he's got another 5 this weekend coming up, unless he takes a bye. Okay. So UK Blitz Championship qualify for Wales and Bridgender's on the 30th. I'd strongly recommend everybody just dives into that and has a lot of fun. Looks like a great thing. South Wales tournament, October the 7th to the 8th. That was on there before. And I believe that we're looking at a junior weekend as well. Somewhere around, was it 14th, 15th or 15th, 16th, 14th, 15th, I think. So more about that, they will come out to the juniors from Ian Eustace. And okay, I don't think there's much change on there, although it looks like what's this? March the 1st, a Welsh Spring Morning Blitz on March the 1st.
I hadn't noticed that before.
No, I hadn't noticed that before either. I mean, this is really detailed now. This is looking really good.
The tandem tournament, is that like where you pass the pieces?
Where does it say that? Tandem tournament. What? Who's booking in these things?
6th
of April.
April, yeah.
Hang on a minute, isn't that when the Welsh Championships is? So it's the weekend after the Welsh Championship. There's a tandem tournament.
What is tandem? Is that where the crazy doubles? House or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're getting involved in this chess.com stuff where they're doing all the crazy mixing things there. Maybe it's you're on the bike.
Chess.
Yeah.
Have you seen that variant that's coming out?
I've not. No, I mean, I saw the advert for the Clash of Clans and chess. I don't know how that works, but looks like they're doing all the popular things.
Like Wizards Chess or something starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Hang on. The WCPL as well is signed up as well, and Alex mentioned to just have a little look at the team list.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, if we can load the team list. No, we can't. Team list under 1850. No, I don't think we can. Results in games, fixtures. Okay, no, I don't think we can do that. We'll have more of a look at that maybe when we've got the bit more preparation for it. But yeah, great work on the calendar, guys, is what I'd say. And I want to know more things about this tandem tournament. Somebody's mentioned it might be Bughouse, but we'll see. Okay, well, as we move on, we've got we'll answer a question from the chat in a second, but Alex's tournament in the Czech Republic actually went pretty well for Alex. This is the last round. And I'm pretty sure that, Johan, were you like me? Were you cheering for him when we got the news?
Yeah. I didn't realize he started the last round on board 3. That's great. To win the tournament when you've started on board 3 in the last round is...
Yeah, I mean, he was joint top, wasn't he, at that point? 6.5, 6.5, 6.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't spotted that. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so
I knew that actually. Yeah.
But he,
he got a sole win, on tiebreak.
On tiebreak, he got a sole win, yeah. So final cross table puts him at the top. WLS number 1 spot. And all of these Czech Republicans.
Isn't it?
One point in it, wasn't there? Half a point at the end. All of these Czech players thinking that this is their tournament, and basically what he's done is he's flown in on an airplane, thought, I'll enter this tournament, I'll take the prize money, played some chess, won the tournament in front of all these local people,
They're probably like shaking. I can imagine them shaking their fists like angrily.
Like this,
like,
yeah.
Loser, these foreigners coming and winning our tournament.
Yeah, damn you, Alex Bullen, best chess player in Wales.
And also, like he like jetted out like minutes after the win or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just like, right,
I've
won.
like, oh, I've got like 5 minutes till my flight or something,
something like that. But yeah, no, I'm surprised he's actually won the tie break because he lost to the person in second.
So did he? Because that's not tie break one these days, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So usually they put like how you scored against your opponent, but obviously they haven't used that. So yeah, well, I mean, well played, Alex. And if I click on his individual score, you see this is where he's gained his 12 Welsh Union points. But on FIDE though, he'll be gaining 30.6 points on that rating.
And imagine if FIDE had brought that rule in about the ratings, he would have bagged himself a load more because of the 1400.
These will be higher, wouldn't they?
What would the 1400 be, like 1700 or something?
Oh, I don't know.
They're gaining loads lower down.
I don't think it'll be 17. I think maybe 1600 perhaps, or something.
But still,
like
if you add all those points up, he'd have been bagging like another 10 or something, maybe more. Like that. Yeah. That's where you start to see what the difference is for, like, with this inflation and deflation and all of that. So
but again, he's only played three people that were higher than him out of the 9 rounds. The last round win was a really good one. That was worth a lot of points to him, probably 10 points, even more.
That was a good win as well. Really good win.
Like, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. We're looking forward to seeing it next week, aren't we? When he's back on with us. So we'll look forward to his update on that. He drew with the IM. Lost to the other 21.97, but he did beat Peter Corney, 10.6 points there. So yeah, well done, Alex. We're really proud of you, and you embarrassed the Czechs. So great news all round for that. And yeah, so has everybody seen that the Queen's Gambit 2 has been released or being planned?
Certainly have.
So I thought I'd Google this and. For everybody in the chats, this has been going on for what? Maybe a week now, 2 weeks, something like that. And Johan, what did you put in the chat earlier?
I said it should be called the Queen's Indian.
The Queen's Indian,
where she takes on all these Indian prodigies and and loses.
Yeah, so you wanted it to be updated to 2023, and it's basically Beth Harmon against a load of Indian prodigies.
And then it can be like. After that, the Queen's Gambit decline, where she's just depressed after losing to all these kids that are like, and she just declines and just doesn't play chess anymore, just takes the drugs.
It goes like that. So just to be clear, Johan didn't know. I saw it about a week or 2 weeks ago or something like that, and I said to Lisa, my wife, I said, "Oh, they're making the Queen's Gambit 2, are they?" Just on a snapshot. Unfortunately, she Googled it and. It's also been said it's a complete hoax. Queen's Gambit 2 is not being released, not being planned, and unfortunately we're not going to get another one. I really liked the first one, by the way. Johan, did you like the first one?
I didn't think it was terrible, but I think it was decent. Do you know what really bugs me is you don't need to overly dramatically move the pieces. Come on, do you know, if anybody moved the pieces like that you don't need to do that.
I thought they got it a lot better than normally they do.
Oh, and I was terrible. It's nobody moves pieces like that. Come on.
Yeah, we know that they have to play it up a little bit for the film, but
also they're just playing so quick. Oh, it was just so unrealistic, wasn't it? Unnecessarily so.
Well, it was sped up. It was fast framed, wasn't it, until the move. You're not going to wait for 15 minutes, or in my case, maybe half an hour for me to move, are you?
I'm going to have to rewatch it. I'm going to have to rewatch it just to see, because maybe it looks better on second viewing. But.
Yeah, I really liked it. Thought it was great, but no, they haven't got any plans for Queen's Gambit season 2, which is a shame because I think the majority of chess players really liked it. Okay, well let's have a little look at this. There's a great question, chess question in chat, and Ashel asks again. Any advice on how to not lose your cool in difficult, murky positions?
What I would say, right, is that I would say try to not think of anything except for the chess, right? So if you're sat there thinking, "Oh, this is complicated," well, that's not helping you at all, and it could be hindering you, right? So just look for, make a list of, I don't know what level we're talking, but just notice which pieces are loose and not defended very well, and just keep an eye on those, like whether it's to win your opponents or defend your own. But yeah, I mean, a difficult, murky position. I'm thinking lots of pieces hanging, threats, etc., and just completely get out of your mind.
I think he might have frozen for. He's frozen for me. Has he frozen for everybody in the chat? Johan, come back. Yeah, he's frozen. You froze then, Johan, so we missed the latter part of that. Did you know?
Back, am I? I could see you totally fine and everything. So I don't know exactly which point I froze, but yeah.
Well, I think the general thing is just don't focus on anything else but the chess, is what you were saying.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good point, actually, because sometimes when you've got a really murky position and, it's quite an interesting position generally other people want to also have a look at your game. And sometimes you can start to, you see my ears might go red or something like that. People are watching. Maybe I've sacrificed a piece that I shouldn't have done. And you start to sometimes you get a little bit embarrassed about your position. And you're like, or maybe you're thinking of a move where you're thinking, hang on a minute, should I do this move? This is a real gutsy move. But if it doesn't come off, I'll look like an absolute fool, and the risk of looking like a fool is so real. Especially,
but I think that's why I would say just get anything that isn't calculating chess. Just do not think it. It's a complete waste of time and it doesn't help you. Is what I would say. And I always used to say that about draw offers as well. You should not be there thinking, oh, maybe I should offer a draw. It doesn't help. Because it's nothing to do with the game. Yeah. So it's taking your concentration away from the game. Just the more complicated it is, the more I'll make sure that I take some time to make sure which pieces are loose and not, and can you hit two at the same time, or could your opponent hit two of yours at the same, that sort of thing. I think, and that helps in blitz as well. I think. Yeah,
because obviously the time control definitely does matter, and it's never easy to, if you've got a real murky position and it's blitz, then it's very easy to not necessarily lose your cool. But one thing that we're talking about here is this is why some people rise to the top of the tree and some people don't, because of how you handle the pressure and how you deal with those really pressured situations. And the best players in the world handle them better than the players just below them, who handle it better than the players just below them. So to get better at that is just effectively getting better at chess and dealing with that kind of pressure. And the best way of dealing with it is to get into it more often so that you know what it feels like. So the more you play, the more murky positions you get into, and therefore the more chance you've had of dealing with it. And usually the better player is the one that is able to deal with it the best. And I think what Johan's right in saying is deal with the chess first, and everything else can come later. But there's no easy thing. If it's something that gets you a bit frustrated, then you lose your cool because it goes crazy. Because I've seen people do it. It seemed like, for example,
one of Alex's opponents did it.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? So he's going to tell us more about this maybe next week, perhaps. Alex had a very interesting episode in the Czech Republic, so we won't steal his thunder though. And
I was saying when he told us about that on chat, I said that in the European Club Cup I had an opponent throw the boards when.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I said in the chat. Yeah, he actually threw the boards up in the air, instead of resigning. He lost his cool big time, and that was definitely a very murky position which he was a little better in, and then dropped something and then boom, got angry.
Yeah, and to be honest, I see it quite a lot from
juniors. So you would expect.
Well, right? I mean, that was juniors, I guess, but I saw it actually in a lot of very, I don't know, on the cusp of aggression, shall we say. A lot of chess players are when they lose, and while we play the game and we try and teach our juniors not to take losses well, really the top players don't actually take losing well, do they? Really, I don't see many top players.
But this guy that threw the board was 50s or 60s, right? He wasn't a junior. He was a mature player. But, I don't know why he was. I don't know why he was so mad, but nothing happened to him.
What do you mean nothing happened? Surely there should be some sort of, I don't know, penalty for behaving in that way.
He lost the game. He played the rest of the tournament, from what I know. But
so there was no punishment really for flipping the board.
Not that I know. No.
Do we think that that's right? That there shouldn't be some sort of, I don't know, some sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not right, is it? And especially, I think I was a kid at the time as well. So like,
what kind of example did that set to you as a child?
Yeah. But like, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? Like someone, and he was, I think what was annoyed, he probably needed he was quite a highly rated IM, and he was probably just frustrated at not getting his GM title, and I probably ruined his another chance at a norm or something. But that was probably like he probably I'm just guessing, or maybe he'd had a bad day or something. But you shouldn't be throwing boards around, should you?
No, I mean we don't know what's going on in people's private lives. We also don't know what I don't know, mental conditions some people have as well. We have no idea about their background, about people that we play, so people will react differently. But for me, regardless of that, I think that there should be not necessarily laws brought in, but maybe some sort of, I don't know, etiquette kind of rules that need to be followed. And if they are broken, then, like for example, wasn't there a big kerfuffle about somebody not shaking somebody's hand one time? And actually, that's a rule of the game, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, and actually, I think that if was it Nigel Short's hand or Nigel Short not shaking somebody? I can't remember which way. It might have been him. It might have been somebody else. But yeah, there was somebody wouldn't shake their hand, and they had to in the end in order to play the game, and it's crazy.
I can imagine a handshake, between Neiman and say Nakamura or something if they had to play, no, I don't know. But I guess, there's no laws or stuff because it's not something that happens very often, I'd imagine, so if it was happening often, they'd have to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, was he playing for a team at the point as well?
Yeah.
So he's playing for a team as well. And I don't know, maybe this needs to be not necessarily even a complaint, but maybe the arbiters just need to be saying, look, he's not playing the next round or something like that, or appreciate he's upset, but you can't go flipping the boards. It's just not on. It's.
But Alex is. I know we obviously mentioned Alex's opponent. Like he didn't do anything like that. He just, Alex made him cry. So that was.
Yeah, Alex is going around making
dishing out
people cry,
dishing out losses.
Yeah, brutal losses. Right. Well, I don't know if you've got any of your games from Title Tuesday. I can flick over to you. I'll just show you the one kind of point that I wanted to show people. This is one of my losses from Title Tuesday, and I'm not really bothered about the opening at all. But the reason why I wanted to show it wasn't really to do with the chess in it. It was more to do with the way that you approach a game. And this is a clear example of me not playing chess to win, but playing chess to have fun.
Right.
And I need to slap myself a little bit and stop playing to have fun because this is a clear example where, and it's online chess, so you can forgive me for it. But if I want to score points, then I'm going to have to do better. And the thing is here, I already saw the point here, right? The point was that the move that I wanted to play almost was knight b3. I could take the bishop off. But of course, rook b1 comes in and pins the knight to the bishop, and it's just a little annoying. So I thought, should I invade with my queen? Oh, I'll do something else first. And then
I would have thought. I thought the point was so that you can play knight b3 and a5.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe I wasn't thinking that much. I mean, I'm only not even used a minute on my clock yet, have I? So I've been playing fast. He plays h6, g6, and then he goes bishop f3. And then here I just make the decision. And I go, yeah, I'll do that. That looks like fun. and so I put the knight in anyway. He goes rook b1. I go, okay, let's go.
Because you could go because your bishop a bc7 move, you can go a5 and there's no bishop takes a5 then.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I should be going a5, a4, but really, I'd already made the decision before I put my knight in. That,
I mean, I think the problem is your knight's in the wrong place because it needs to be closer to the king side, doesn't it? It's not going to do anything.
Yeah,
I
mean,
there.
Obviously it could have come back maybe to d8 and then out to e6 perhaps, or f7 even is quite useful in this position. But in blitz, I'm going forward. I'm not going defensive. And I mean, I think I could have invaded with the queen here. Queen b2 was another candidate move.
Just that looks better, yeah.
Yeah, I think queen b2 is the move that I play. But for some reason, I thought, let's sack my queen.
And it's only for...
Oh, no, why do this? Why did I do this?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Like, I get it because, like, I'd say, like, if I had to pick my biggest weakness is that I play too actively. Like, I very often, I see where I need to transition into defense, and instead I just go, I'll sack something for activity,
Yeah.
And in classical as well, I lost a few games in that GM tournament where actually I was better, and then instead of just saying, okay, I made a mistake, I need to just be equal now and defend a bit, I just sack something and it's no good. So
yeah, I've got a bit of a thing where I give away a pawn for activity sometimes.
It just doesn't work against good players. So
well, I don't necessarily mind the idea of giving away a pawn for activity. I think sometimes you need to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes not.
Oh, right. Yeah, but not just out of desperation.
No, not out of desperation.
But I think that was Alpha Zero's weakness as well. It defends really badly because it defends too actively.
Oh, really?
Stockfish is like just wins by defense, but Alpha Zero is like, I'm attacking, and even if it's supposed to be on the defense, it would rather sack a piece for activity.
Yeah.
But that was its only weakness, really. Its main weakness.
Well, I mean, here after knight g4, I just couldn't really defend this pawn very well.
If you could, though, you're solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd be solid. So he kind of just got a little bit lucky that knight g4 attacks f6, and I'm and so if I have to give up the bishop, then he invades, and it's all over at this point, which is kind of annoying. So I just thought that was quite an interesting point of learning for other people to see as well, that sometimes you can have too much fun playing actively and trying things out, and actually sometimes just playing the more solid move. And also asking yourself that question, why do you play chess? Do you play chess to have fun, or do you play chess to win? Well, yeah, winning obviously links into having fun, and having fun links into winning. But sometimes they are two different paths, and you need to make sure which side of the coin you're on. Like, because sometimes I hear when I do my coaching sessions, and I hear, I play this gambit line because I know it's fun. I know it's not very good if they know what to do. I'm just like, well, hang on a minute, what?
Yeah.
You play something that you know is not very good.
Yeah.
Because you want to have fun, which I like the part of that, having fun if that's what you want to do. But hang on a minute, if you know it's not very good, why are you playing it?
I think it goes back to like before you try to achieve something, you should say what you're trying to achieve and why. Like, so if you're just going to a coach because you want to get a little bit better, but you want to have lots of fun, well, that's very different. Like, that's why when I first start coaching someone, I'll have a bit of a chat about what you want to achieve, right? Because when someone comes to me, I'm thinking, right, I want to make you a GM, but they might be coming and thinking, I just want to be the best in my club or something, and they don't want to lose that fun element, right? So you do have to defend sometimes if you want to be a GM, but you don't have to if you want to be 15, 16. And like, sometimes you can just go all out, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, I did have somebody that was rated 1100. They've been playing for 30, 40 years.
Oh, right.
And then they were 1100 30, 40 years ago, and they still wanted to become a GM.
Okay. Ambitious. I like it.
I'm very ambitious. Maybe a tad unrealistic. But short-term goals, I think, is the main thing. Was there any games that you played, Johan, that you thought?
I had the most weird title Tuesday, right? Because it was super extreme. Like, it was outrageously awful. And
have you been playing since?
I had to get my rating back over 2,500. So.
Oh, did you? Oh, is it embarrassing not being below that?
Well, no, I just thought I was so tired playing Title Tuesday that I thought, like, I actually felt good and I had a few minutes spare, so I thought I'll see if, and yeah, it was like I got back over. So, but I also realized I want to be about 25-20 at the start of every Title Tuesday, so I get a chance to play Magnus.
Yeah, I mean, I got to play. Was it Gatakamsky at the start as well?
Annoyingly, I was over halfway just, so I got to play one of the lowest rated ones, which is so annoying. But yeah, if you pick any game, something outrageous happened there. Really, loss or win. Like,
this was a great win though. This was fantastic. This was amazing. This one was.
This was a good one.
We'll love this one. So yeah, this was
I can't believe the blunder she did there. That's pretty bad, wasn't it? The blunder.
Yeah, I mean, H4 is just kind of you like this H4 move, don't you?
It's really good. I love it.
A lot of time for it. But then I thought the whole
idea basically rules out the Grunfeld, right? That's the good thing about it, because
I thought H4 was the antidote to the Grunfeld. I don't think you can't play the Grunfeld against H4.
Not so good right now because of H5 here. It's a problem for black, H5.
Because the knight is overworked is the point. You can't defend this. This.
If the knight takes it, you actually sack a pawn as white. You because so you take on D5 with the pawn.
Okay, you're going to play E4, yeah?
Yeah. So I think E6, and then I think and then I think you play E4. Oh no. Yeah, E4. That's it.
Lining up rook takes knight here as well, aren't you?
Then they take the pawn on D5, and I think you just go E5. Yeah, and then they have to go bishop F8, and then
because G4's coming.
Yeah, and then you play G4, knight G7. You're pawn down, but it's like computer gives a fairly decent plus for white. Plus, it's more easy to play for white. So.
Yeah, I mean, imagine facing this in the Blitz game entire Tuesday and you're playing black. You just don't want this.
Plus,
at all.
I've analysed it a lot, so
yeah, you know what to do.
This is already not very good for black. So,
but this is common knowledge now. I thought this H4 thing has been very popular for a while now. I would have thought that she'd have known it, but
there isn't anything great to play. But I mean, I did mess this up, right? I was playing so badly that I actually thought when she played C5. Actually thought, I know this is not a good move, but I'm going to play bishop takes pawn anyway.
Yeah, you got to just take it anyway.
Well, because D7 I've got a very nice plus. But I thought I knew she's going to take on D4 and I was going to play E5. And I just thought, come on.
So why doesn't she take with the queen here then? Is that no good?
I don't think it looks that pleasant because knight B5, I don't know.
And swaps queens and knight A6 is...
Yeah, swap queen and knight F5. I don't know, E5, and then it just doesn't look very nice, I think.
I'm not saying that anything looks very nice here, but okay, she took this way, and you went E5. And of course, the temptation here is, if I take his knight, he'll take my knight. But of course, that didn't happen. He went here. And it's like, one of those videos that you watch online and there's like last 10 minutes or something like that. And it's like opening traps to win. And you know all the kids are watching it going, I'll play this. And you're like just there thinking, it'll never work. Come on.
You never think this was a game in Title Tuesday, would you?
No,
like two title players or whatever. Like looks awful. I haven't developed any of my pieces. I've just randomly got a pawn on H6. And it looks like black hasn't developed either, but she has developed, but then undeveloped.
Yeah, and I mean these tricks are just.
Do you know? I genuinely thought I'd lost my queen here. Like I actually, I thought I accidentally blundered my queen.
Yeah, you're lucky you've got this check, aren't you?
Yeah.
Can she not take with the bishop here?
Well, I think she was worried about queen takes B7.
Okay. So. I mean, I might have just done it anyway, just to.
Yeah. I mean, king takes looks not very good, does it?
The thing is that, do you know what I'd have reasoned there? I'd have been going like takes, queen takes. And then what I'd have been trying to do is something like knight D4 here and try to legal mate you somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'd have been trying to do.
Or even like, rook B8, sack that knight, then take on B2.
Here.
But that bishop doesn't come back into the game is the problem, isn't it? So... that bishop on f8 is terrible. This is the great thing about that h6 pawn, is that it takes out 2 pieces, like because the rook on h8 and the bishop on f8 are effectively out of the game. So
yeah, and black's just not running out of pieces here, aren't they, for their attack?
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that is what I'd have tried rather than king takes e6. You bring your queen back, knight d4, and you actually get forked, which is
I let that happen.
You let it happen.
I saw the mate. It's forced mate, so.
I mean, it is a very beautiful checkmate. I will give you that. And knight e5, and the checks are coming. And then this is the move, isn't it? Queen b5, and then check here.
It's all those puzzle rushes. Like, this is very puzzle rush, isn't it?
Yeah, and then...
I mean, seeing that's kind of... Like, before doing all these puzzle rushes, I probably wouldn't have been so confident that was mate, with the because
that's quite interesting. Because I found that I'm starting to see the tactics better, although not necessarily in Title Tuesday, but just generally, I felt a lot more confident with doing it. So do you think that has had a massive positive effect on your...
For me, one of the things that it's starting to do is and I think I need to be repeating it a bit more, right? It is because there's obvious tactics, back ranks and stuff that, we don't need that. It's not going to improve that. But do you know, like when you've got an attack going and you can see you're about to check this king and then it's going to run away.
Yeah.
And is it going to run away and then you're loads of pieces down or not? Like, I find that these puzzles, there is some sort of pattern where the king gets trapped in and it's going to happen. And it could be just because some random pawn is covering one square. And I think I just get the feeling like that is clicking a little bit more because of these puzzles. And this was the case here. I could tell that my queen and bishop and knight, because that knight is covering d8, right? That's the key thing. And then the crisscross mates. So, and I feel like that comes from Puzzle Rush, because there's always, when there's only 2 pieces attacking the king, there's always one square that they can get away to. You kind of need that 3rd piece, don't you? So
no, I agree. And I mean, you're talking there about pattern recognition as well. And I remember doing Puzzle Rush and thinking, hang on, I can't see this. And I'd stare at it for a couple of minutes. I'm like, done all the others in like 2 seconds. And I've just done a random move and failed it deliberately to move on, because I've gone back over them afterwards and I thought, hang on a minute, what actually is this? I can't even see it. And the next thing I know, actually, I'm starting to see them a lot quicker. And those kind of topical themes are coming through. And this was a fantastic game, Johan, and well played. Obviously, it could have gone on 2 more moves just to show people these are just courtesy blocks of the checkmate. And it's just nice that all of these pieces kind of work as one, isn't it? And the bishop covering this diagonal being defended. So, beautiful game as well.
It's worth doing the puzzles. Puzzle Rush is a great
I mean, I guess we should probably click on it, actually, seeing as we talk about it so much. So you do need, I think you get so many free goes if you've got a free account. You do need to have we get an account because we're titled with chess.com, which is very fortunate. Apologies to people. But on the leaderboard...
You can have a few free goes, yeah?
You can have a few free goes, yeah.
But I don't think you need to do it for hours every day. You should just, like, if you haven't got a diamond membership, then I would use your free goes every day. Like, I've got a few accounts on other things that are really good for, say, end games and stuff. So, like, what's it called?
Chess Tempo or Chess Bomb?
Chess Tempo is amazing for end games. So you get 2 free ones per day. That's it. So I just do 2 every day, and it means that I do 2 every day.
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you've got an account, you think, I don't want to go on there and do like whatever. But if you know it's only going to be 2 and you're maxed out at that, then you do it every day then. So I think it's worth it for the Puzzle Rush. Just go and do your whatever it is a day.
So this is I've started to add the Welsh players to the. So this is the Welsh Chess Chat chess.com account, by the way. So if I start adding all the Welsh players, and we can get a big list here. This is I think at 5 minute, by the way. So you're 2 behind at 5 minute.
Yeah.
But I know that
I nearly did that today.
Did you? Well, I think I failed 3 when I got to 47, so could potentially make 50, but I doubt it, to be honest. I've actually started to do survival like you've done. As well.
What did you get to?
not very well. I think I got to something like 51, and was like, hang on,
Okay.
why am I failing these? But then again, some of the puzzles,
They're tough. Yeah, they can be tough.
Are they harder though, actually, than harder than we think? Though sometimes those puzzle rushes, like the difference, the survivals may be harder than the 5 minute.
Yeah, the
survivals, the
3
minute.
The survival, yeah, it is harder. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, get yourself down on Puzzle Rush. 5 minutes at 47 is the current Welsh record. If there's somebody else that's Welsh that's done higher, then great. I'm more than happily shout about them and congratulate them. At 3 minutes, currently myself and Daniel and somebody else, I think, is on 41 at the moment. That's a bit of a challenge that we're sending out there to all Welsh players. Please, we're looking for you to have a good go at trying to beat the record. And it's a good bit of banter, and also it's good to try and improve and to get better at these things. And me and Johan are talking here about how it's kind of helped us get better at playing chess already. And I guess I'm going to see if it translates to over the board this weekend or not, and we'll go from there. You just got to send me your chess.com account, and I can just add you as a friend on here. Whatever your account name is. Johan, is there anything that we need to talk about before we finish up?
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. I did one last thing. What is check? What's check in Welsh?
I think it's just check. Sorry.
Oh, that's a bit boring.
Yeah. But I think it's check in every language, isn't it? It's just
Is it?
Yeah.
What's castling in Welsh?
Castelli. I think.
Oh, so it's castell, like in castle.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
just
so.
E on the end. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Castethi.
Castelli.
Okay,
that
right.
sounds about right. I haven't. Yeah. I
Okay,
haven't
right.
spoken about chess in Welsh in so long. It's actually weird thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Next week we'll have maybe hopefully some out of Alex's games and some of his stories from the Czech Republic. He's playing in a league match tonight. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll add you Astral, and yeah, see you on Tuesday for Title Tuesday, and on next Thursday for Welsh Chess Chat again. But if not, see you this weekend at the Newport Congress, which is where I'll be. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Yeah.